Hello, welcome to Baltimore Woods Nature Center. My name is Karen Jean Smith and I'm the art gallery coordinator here at the Woods. I'm here today to bring you a little bit of color and joy from our art gallery. We currently have two artists whose work is on exhibit. One of these is Judith Hand and the other Julie Grayton, two great friends and great artists from the local Central New York area. So the name of our exhibit, the title actually, is The Earth Laughs with Flowers. That is a quote from a Ralph Waldo Emerson poem. And although the poem doesn't really have much to do with that subject matter, we felt that it brought the ideas of joy and color and enthusiasm and bright spring freshness, happiness to our thinking. So we wanted to herald the spring with this idea. We'll be taking you on a tour of several of the paintings today. The first set of paintings you will see are all by Judith Hand. Judith is a watercolorist and she's been practicing her art for many years. This one is entitled Daffodil Conversation. It's the perfect one for us to start with since it's one of the first flowers we're going to see in our gardens this spring. This piece is entitled Sunseekers. It, again, is a watercolor painting, and it depicts echinacea, which is actually a native plant. We have these here in our garden at Baltimore Woods Nature Center. Here we are moving much later into the season. This is a depiction of the milkweed plant, and of course it's titled Milkweeds. This, too, is a native plant, and I think we're all familiar with it at this point. The monarch butterflies need these in order for their very survival. These can be found on roadsides and all different sorts of places around the central New York area. If you take a walk here at Baltimore Woods Nature Center later on in the season, you may come across this plant. These are May apples, and they grow close to the ground. You might even see them in bloom. This is part of Judith Hand's Fractured Flora series, where she depicts the flower, and then she adds geometric elements that enhance the composition. Here we have one of our favorite flowers here at the Woods, the wildflower white trillium. Turns out it might be one of Judith's favorites too. Once again, we can see the geometric elements, the circles, that are placed in the background, and what these do is provide contrast for the white petals of the trillium. Judith sources her subject matter from a variety of areas. This one actually came from a friend's flower garden, and it is entitled Yellow Lady Slippers. Once again, this is a painting that was done in the Fractured Flora style with geometric elements in the background to enhance the composition.
We are now looking at a mixed media piece by Julie Grayton. It is entitled Festival Maxima Peonies. The subject came to Julie while running an errand. She had spied these lovely flowers outside of her credit union, and she took a picture so that she could use them in her work later on. This just goes to show that you never know when or where you might find your subject.
Here we have another picture of peonies, this time in a very deep pink, which gives, of course, the piece its title, Deep Pink. Magenta is one of Julie's favorite colors. This time, she found these flowers in her friend's garden. This piece is entitled Irises in Contrast, and it's the yellow background with the purple flowers to which Julie refers when she uses the term contrast. She was using complementary colors to highlight the flowers. This is one of her favorite flowers from childhood. Julie's process is to do collage, which means she is taking different types of papers, good quality papers, and she is cutting and mostly tearing them and applying to the paper surface. And then she enhances the work by adding some acrylic paints and often some oil pastels.
This piece is called Tulip Tree Blossoms, Magnolia's cousin. This native tree is named for its soft yellow flowers with bits of green and orange that resemble springtime tulips. Julie says that she had been aware of tulip trees, but it wasn't until June of last year, while she was taking a walk at Green Lake State Park, that she actually experienced the flowers. A number of the blossoms had come off the tree, and they were strewn around underfoot. She, like many of us, is looking forward to seeing them again. As Julie says, everyone enjoys a surprise. The idea for this image, called Celebrating Summer, started with a gift from a friend. She had given Julie a small metal box of unlabeled seeds, which Julie planted in her perennial garden. Each week, she checked on the plants, trying to guess at what they would become. The results, which showed up a few months later, were a plethora of blossoms, including a variety of cosmos, as well as shorter-stemmed plants in orange, pink, and yellow. Apparently, it was worth the wait, and we get to enjoy her artistic interpretation.
This is one of the last pieces you'll be seeing in this wonderful mixed media collage process. This is entitled 3, and it's named for the 3 leaves, the 3 petals, and the 3 sepals of the red trillium, which is another one of our favorites here at Baltimore Woods. This plant can be seen growing on our forest floor from the pathways here at the Woods. It is on New York State's protected native plant list. Julie says that she was excited to come across this when she first found it. It is not as well known as the white one. I hope you've enjoyed this little tour of some of the work that we were hoping to share with you in the art gallery at Baltimore Woods Nature Center. Sadly, we are unfortunately closed at this time. We do wish you all the best of health. That's from everyone here at the center. And we encourage you to spend some time in